Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ways of Thinking. I am joined by Angela Smith from Talking Rain. Would you like to introduce yourself, Angela?
Sure. Hi, I'm Angela Smith, and I lead the insights team over at Talking Rain. We are a beverage company, privately owned in the Pacific Northwest, and we've been making delicious beverages. I'm bringing them to market for almost 40 years.
Yeah, some of my favorite beverages, actually.
Really?
Sparkling ice. I love it.
Yes, that is our big front runner. We probably our most successful brand to date. We're very proud of our sparkling ice brand. It brings delight to many people.
Right. But your role as an insights leader, you're exploring beyond just, your table stakes, best known brands. And you did some research and you talked about how you looked beyond just buying patterns and looked at what habits really mean in the home. So can you talk to us a little bit more about what that looked like when you combined ethnography research with quantitative research and really ensured that they worked not just in parallel to each other, but together side by side to inform your decision making?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's pretty exciting. And actually, ethnographies are in the heart of qualitative research, whereas that's where we're talking to consumers directly. And that's really important to get off our screens and go and talk to them. And we actually unpack it a little. We did some pre-work on the qualitative where we did we had like a billboard and we had them share us pictures and talk through the beverage consumption of their day and what happens at home. So when we think about the purchase journey, we think about before you shop. That's where we might have ads and things to kind of inform people about what's out there. There's when they're in the store, we might have promos and displays and have our product there. So having it available for consumers. But then there's the other part when they bring it home.
Right.
Where does it go? And who are competitors?
We know garage.
We know, and you know what? A lot of people we've discovered a lot of people have beverage fridge. And actually, it's kind of funny. I was at a Costco while I was doing this research, and there was a checker, and he was talking about beverage fridge. And he's like, one day I will have it. And I'm like, it's gold. It's gold for people. So, so beverage fridge was one thing, and people will go to great lengths to kind of work around friction points. And we were kind of seeking that kind of understanding where we had potential friction points on the post-purchase consumer journey. So once you bring it home, like it needs to be chilled. Is it in the fridge or does it sit in the garage? Do you need to put it in the fridge? How is it stored in the fridge? Because when my kids come home and they're looking for something, they open the fridge and that is their competitive set. That's not really the same as the store.
Sure, yeah, it changes.
So we wanted to just really understand that behavior and what was happening. And then we took the insights from that, and we actually did another step before we went to quantitative. So this actually ended up being 4 steps.
Wow.
But it's really the way that we're kind of addressing each thing with the right tool to satisfy that. So our friends over at Decision Analyst did, and they have a panel called the Imaginators, and they are a highly creative group. And it's wonderful because when we're doing innovation internally, we sometimes get inside our own heads and the same things come up again and again. It's kind of hard to break through sometimes and you need some fresh eyes. So they come in and say, okay, this is what you're doing and you're very highly creative. And so they came up with some great ideas. And then we took that through some rigorous quantitative tests. Right, and so we can do the set testing and come really understand where we have innovations that can be most promising.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's really interesting, and I think a lot of researchers are constantly thinking about how they can combine qualitative and quantitative methodology.
Yeah, I think it's a common thing. Researchers, really good seasoned researchers, don't want to shortcut some of those pieces because getting the right methodology for what you're trying to answer is almost as important as actually doing research. Because you can go off in one direction and you can get an answer. Is it the right answer for the question you're trying to solve?
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's like if you get an answer and it's saying something and you haven't thought through all the parts of it, you could be making the wrong decision.
Right, absolutely. Another thing you mentioned was you talked about rewriting the rules of what it means to be the ready to drink space, especially when innovation is happening so constantly and quickly. So how do you manage that in your day-to-day function?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a big question.
Yeah.
Because it's not us as manufacturers rewriting the rules. Consumers are, and
Right.
they are making choices all the time. So we want to watch what their behavior is telling us. That's why we analyze the data. We see what they're doing when they actually are making those purchases. We can see and know, like, who is it that's buying this versus another thing. And we can see trend lines. We can see what is a category like table so that you make sure that when you are innovating, you can get a certain percent down the road,
Right.
just by observing what people are actually gravitating towards. And it also can give you a little bit of an alarm or a little flag can be raised when you see something tipping a different way. Then you can quickly make sure you prioritize the innovation pipeline to get to a place where you are meeting the consumer's needs. And they are so fickle, and they also they're hilarious. I absolutely love my job because it is the place where I get to talk to a lot of people or try to figure out what is it they're doing, and they are just fascinating. We are all humans, and they're
Sure. Yes. We are unpredictable. We are irrational, and we all love to drink a ready-to-drink beverage.
Yes, when it's delicious.
When it's delicious, like Talking Rain. Thank you so much for joining us, Angela. I really appreciate it.
A pleasure.
Wonderful. This has been Ways of Thinking. We'll see you next time. Bye.